Welcome back to Dynamics. Okay, so this is a review of WrestleMania, both night 1 and night 2. I'm doing both reviews in the same video. My predictions did not go well. Let's just put it that way. I missed a lot. But I had a great time. I really enjoyed the event. Very happy with how everything went. So let's get into the details of it. First off, if you're thinking between, oh, the lighting's getting weird, like we're getting extra, yeah, got the light coming in through the sliding glass door, and it was, all right, anyways. Okay, so I would say that I enjoyed night 1 overall more than night 2, but night 2 finished strong. So let's go ahead and start with as much as of what I can remember as far as which matches were on which night. All right. So we started off. Where did we start off? We started off with Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, and my first L. Let's take my first L here. I predicted that Becky Lynch would win. I thought, it was time. Rhea Ripley's been champion for a long time. She's been a strong champion, but it's time to move on. And so I really did think that Becky Lynch was going to win this match. But I'm not disappointed with Rhea Ripley winning the match. I think that she's a great champion. And if Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are both taking some time off, a little foreshadowing there, but if both Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are taking some time off, hopefully they still come back. Hopefully they resign, they come back and everything. But maybe they're taking some time off to be, to focus on family, deal with some injuries. Or maybe Becky Lynch isn't going anywhere and they just didn't want her to win the match for some reason. We shall see. All right, so yeah, Becky Lynch lost. I got that one wrong. Good, really, really solid match to start WrestleMania off with, though. All right, next match. I don't think I'm going to be able to get these in order, but I'm pretty sure I can give you at least what matches took place on what night. So let's see here. Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. Originally, when I made my predictions, it was still Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I really thought they were going to finally give the win to Dominic, and so, Santos Escobar and Dominic, and I thought they were building up Santos Escobar, but did not realize they switched out Andrade for Dragon Lee on the SmackDown before, and might have changed my mind because I know they definitely have big plans for Andrade. Triple H loves him. He's great. I could definitely see him moving up pretty quickly. And so, yeah, Rey Mysterio and Andrade won this match. I got that one wrong. And I wasn't overly surprised after finding out that it was going to be Andrade. But there we are. I got it wrong. But good match. Solid. All right. What did we have? What else did we have? I think on the first night, we had the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi match. Pretty sure of that. And I got this one right. Okay, so pretty much this was let Bianca Belair and Naomi do most of the work. Let Damage Control do a lot of selling and put a lot of, make them look good. And that's exactly what happened, which is a little sad because Asuka and Kairi Sane should be treated a little bit more importantly. Asuka specifically, she's great. And then them being the women's tag team champions should, they should be a little bit better. But it is what it is. They were trying to put over mostly Jade because Bianca and Naomi are both already really well over. But as a group, that's what they were trying to do, put them over as a group, and specifically just trying to get Jade some exposure. She didn't do a whole lot in the match. She didn't need to do a whole lot in the match. She definitely needs some improvement in the ring. Honestly, on her presentation too, her promo abilities and all that, she needs some work, but great look and could be a star if she develops accordingly. So hopefully she does. Hopefully she keeps developing because she looks good. And yeah, Bianca Belair is amazing. She wins. Naomi's pretty awesome. She wins. Good stuff. Got that one right. All right, moving on. We had the Uso versus Uso match. Wait, was that on night 2? Maybe that, no, that was, I'm pretty sure that was night 1. The Usos wrestled on night 1. Was not a solid match. Decent, but not great. Really was kind of hoping for a little bit more out of it. But it was a decent match. They got the right winner. Jay won. Jimmy and Jay didn't reconcile. They, in fact, it probably, things probably got worse between the two of them with the way that Jay or Jimmy tried to win the match. But yeah, it's the right move. Keep them going off in their own separate directions and doing their own singles thing, with the focus being on Jay, of course, because Jay's a little bit better of a talent. But yeah, that's where we are. I got it right. It wasn't shocking, and it wasn't particularly appealing. It just was decent. All right, what's next? We had, I believe, the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match on the first night. And I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I wanted more out of it. It was weird to me that AJ Styles, actually, you know what? I think this may have been second night, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyways, I'm going to move forward. Pretty sure this was second night. AJ Styles had a whole new entrance music, everything. They didn't really give it a chance to show off. It was weird. It seemed kind of rushed. So that was kind of disappointing. I would have liked to have seen the entrance a little bit better. LA Knight did his thing. He's a decent wrestler. Great character, good times, right winner. He should have won that match, and he did. And hopefully we see more out of him, moving forward. All right. I think the only other match that was on night 1 besides the main event was the Sami Zayn versus Gunther match. So let's just get it out of the way. Amazing match. Just great storytelling on both their parts. They did a great job. The action was great. They're both amazing wrestlers, both amazing storytellers and amazing wrestlers, all wrapped into one. They had a great match. It was produced well. It hit all the right spots that it needed to hit. The pacing was good. It didn't drag on too much, but definitely had the length it deserved. And I loved it. And I'm looking forward to having a rematch at some point, maybe. But that is that I would not be upset if that was the rematch that they had when they go to Europe. Okay, so the results. Not the result I predicted, but definitely the result I wanted. I'm happy that Sami won. He's the right guy. It's the right guy to win against Gunther. They could have build someone up using it as a win, but that's kind of predictable. And having Sami Zayn be the underdog and overcoming, that was great. He'll be a great IC champion, moving forward, and Gunther can, maybe they'll have a rematch, but Gunther should move on to the world championship scene. So it was the right pick. I just didn't think they were going to do that. I didn't think that was the direction they were going to go, so I picked Gunther. Not only did I pick Gunther, but I made this my Joker pick, meaning that I lost double points. So a big reason why I plummeted all the way down in the league was because I lost 4 points on this match. So that's disappointing, but not the match itself and not the results. It was great. Definitely watch night 1, even if it's just for this match. But the night 1 overall was the better show, better matches, great storytelling, had a great time with it. The length seemed right. And then we get to the main event. The main event was rough. Don't get me wrong, it was great. They did everything that they needed to do with the match. They sold everybody. Everybody sold well. Seth Rollins got injured. I think intentionally. I don't think he was really injured, although I've heard that maybe he was injured even before the match, that he's, needs to recover from his injuries, that, not injuries caused in the match, but just his wear and tear on his body. He needs to take time off. but they sold an injury angle in the match. The Rock was strong, very dominant, in believable ways. By kind of cheating, kind of telling the ref to like let it. Telling the ref he has to listen to him, that sort of stuff. And honestly, he looked pretty solid in the ring. He obviously has ring rust. Obviously, he's older. Obviously, he's bulkier, and he hasn't, had all that much experience in the last, decade. But he held his own in the ring. I mean, he wasn't out there doing a bunch of crazy moves, but he held his own in the way that he needed to. Roman Reigns was his typical self. He was pretty good. He's never been the greatest, but man, he sells a story. Man, he sells the emotion. And he's a decent wrestler. He really is. He's not, 5-star. I'm not really into that whole star rating thing, but he's not the best wrestler in even WWE. He wasn't the best wrestler in the match, but he's good. And I thought he did a very, very good job in the match. I think they had some great spots that kind of like foretold some things. Good stuff. The right winners, Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and The Rock winning was the right choice. Having The Rock pin Cody Rhodes was the right choice. I just think all in all, I think that was all the right choice. And yeah, the only thing is that, Seth Rollins is a little bit buried by night 1, and then that burial just goes to the next level in night 2. But I know that Seth Rollins and Triple H are really close. I don't think they're doing it to hurt his career or hurt his chances if he moves on to AEW, which I don't think he will. But it's possible. And if he does, I think, Triple H will wish him well. They're very close. So I don't think this was a, we're trying to hurt him on the way out type thing. But we shall see. Overall, night 1, great. I had a great time, enjoyed it, watched it with family, had some pizza, had, really, really just enjoyed it. And I hope we get more stuff like that coming in the near future. Night 2, let's go ahead and just move right into it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I got maybe like half the matches right. So overall for WrestleMania, I'll just kind of touch on this right now. I'm showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 matches. I think there were 13 overall. 13 matches. And in fact, one of the matches on night 1 I didn't touch on because it's not in my predictions here. So let's touch on that real quick before I move on to night 2. It was the tag team match. That was on night 1. I think that was the second match, now that I'm remembering it. And honestly, like, so much about it. I predicted that R-Truth and The Miz would win. Technically, they did. So technically, I got this one right. Maybe that's why it wasn't part of the league, because they knew that there was going to be 2 winners, and how do you make that part of the polling, I guess? I don't know. They could have probably figured something out. But I did not realize that going into this match, that they had split the titles. And there was a chance, maybe even a good chance, that, 2 different teams were going to win the titles. And that's exactly what happened. So the first team was the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller won the SmackDown Championship match, the SmackDown Tag Team titles. That's a bad choice, I think. Honestly, I think, if you were going to split them and you wanted it to be, someone on SmackDown, it could have been DIY. I think they probably would have been the better choice, but I can see why they didn't. So if the goal was, and let's just say it, R-Truth and The Miz did win the Raw Tag Team titles, the feel-good moment at the end of the match, that's so amazing. That was the story that needed to be told, and that was the story that was told. And so having DIY win the SmackDown titles might have overshadowed it a little bit. Not completely, but would have taken some of the luster off, because everybody would have been cheering about DIY winning. Okay, So I see that. The other thing is, honestly, I don't think the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are going to hold the titles very long. In fact, I think very soon, maybe even as early as this Friday, the Wolf Dogs from NXT, stupid name, but the Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker will probably come to SmackDown and take the titles, maybe even as early as this SmackDown. I could see that happening. Or they'll have like KO and Randy Orton beat them for him. Something will happen. They'll lose the titles pretty quick. So that's the other reason that I see why they probably went with that choice. I enjoyed this match. There were a lot of high spots. There were some dangerous spots. Oh my God! With the when they had who was it? Damian Priest and was it Tyler Bates? Anyways, two guys ended up climbing up this ladder, and this leg was going. And I was like, oh, this could get ugly. Hopefully no one gets hurt, you know. And luckily they didn't. They got off the ladder without it falling over or anybody getting hurt. Then they got rid of the ladder and got a new ladder put in the ring. That was scary. But other than that, some great spots. Everybody had some good moments in the match. And in the end, the right winners. The Miz and the R-Truth win was just excellent. And it's even like paid off a little bit on Raw, which, you know, I may do the Raw review. We'll see. All right, moving on to night 2. But yeah, overall, I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches wrong. So I think I got more than 50% right. So I'll still take it as a win. It just wasn't pretty. All right, so night 2. We started with Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. What a way to start. You knew it was going to be, though, because if the other heavyweight championship match is the main event, you kind of got to start with the first one. And I think that was the right choice. Seth Rollins got mauled in this match, pretty much like had hardly any offense. He has to really be hurt, like really hurt. But yeah, he basically sold a lot, and Drew McIntyre ends up winning this match. It wasn't the greatest match because, you know, what I was saying, you know, is mostly a Drew McIntyre match with Seth Rollins mostly just kicking out of pin attempts. But it was a decent match. And then the after event. So Drew McIntyre finally is the champion again. He's finally beat Seth Rollins. He's finally over this hump that he's been on, this curse that he's been on, over the hump. Goes over to CM Punk, who's on commentary, and starts just berating him and like trying to make fun of him. And then of course CM Punk goes after him and like beats him up and like hits him with his arm brace. All of that shouldn't have been enough, but apparently it was, because out comes Damian Priest to cash in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He hits him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashes it in, throws him into the ring, choke slams him, and pins him. That's probably should have gone on a little bit longer. They probably should have had it, you know, had him kick out at least once, you know. It didn't make Drew look very strong. Yeah, that was a little iffy in the execution, but not in the result. I think that's the right result. Damian Priest finally cashing in, finally getting the title, and now Drew McIntyre has to chase Damian Priest. Yeah, that's going to be good stuff. I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, when CM Punk is healthy, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk all day. But in the meantime, it gives Drew McIntyre something to do till CM Punk gets back. It gives Damian Priest a chance to hold the title. It makes it so he didn't waste the Money in the Bank. He actually got to cash it in and win and not be one of the people who cashes it in and loses. All of this was the right choice. Execution was a little iffy. If Seth Rollins had been able to, you know, carry a better match, he wasn't so injured, then they probably could have had it where it looked like Drew was, you know, beat up a little bit more, made it a little bit more, you know, believable. But we won't harp on it too much. But yeah, I would say that could have been done better. All right, next match. What are we looking at here? All right, so did this one. I don't think it was the next match in order, but we'll talk about it. Bailey versus Io Sky. Pretty straightforward match. I think they held their own. Again, night one was better, so that we got the better matches on night one. But I think this match held its own. Bailey's new rose plant finisher thing is a little awkward. I'm not really kind of buying that. There were a couple of questionable moments in the match about missing spots, or that I would have liked to see a little bit tighter. But Bailey winning the match was the right choice. Solid match. Io Sky was a decent champion. She probably could have had a little better run with it. But she'll be back. We'll see more from her in the future. But Bailey winning, that was great. All right, moving on. Who else do we have here? I'm really glad they gave me the points for Drew McIntyre winning, because he won. I got points for Drew McIntyre winning. There was no. They should have had like a is Damian Priest going to cash in type question. Anyways, Philadelphia Street Fight. Was that night? Yeah, that was night 2. Either way, I think it was night 2. Maybe it was on night 1, but I think night 2. Anyways, I thought for sure Final Testament was going to get a build and was going to get a win here. They did not. Oh, yeah, no, this was definitely night 2, because I remember thinking, this is terrible. They turned this into like a joke match. They had Bubba Ray Dudley be the guest referee, because Philadelphia, I guess. They had them do the 3D spots. It just wasn't great. It tried to be a fun match, and it just wasn't great. These guys should have been like beating the crap out of each other. It should have been intense, big hoss fighting, big, the Street Profits aren't that big, but I mean, it just could have been so much better. Street Profits and Bobby Lashley win. I guess they're gonna be building them up moving forward, and the Testament is just gonna move on to some other group that they're gonna lose to. I don't know. I wasn't satisfied with this, and I got it wrong. So all in all, big old L for me. All right, let's see. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Great match, by the way. Great match. I was very happy with the match. Great spots. They did some funny stuff in this match, but didn't make a joke of it. And there was actually, I liked them more. I liked the funny moments better. Randy Orton beating up I kill speed. I speed something. I kill speed. I two speed. the internet guy. I should know this. But anyways, the guy dressed up as the Prime Ball. He took a stiff kick from Randy Orton, and then he took a stiff RKO onto the announce table, and the announce table didn't break. I don't know if it was supposed to break. I'm assuming it wasn't. But I mean, it looked rough. And I don't know if he was just selling it, or he just really was just like not with us anymore. But he laid on that announce table the whole match. So if he was selling, good job, buddy. You did a good job. But I'm assuming that part of that was it really hurt. So maybe don't come back. But that was fun. There was some fun moments at the beginning of the match where KO came in on a golf cart, and then he backed up the golf cart, picked up Randy Orton, and brought him in. So that entrance was fun. Logan Paul had some great high spots in the match. Overall, they did a good job of selling the triple threat aspect of it, and I enjoyed it. I was surprised Logan Paul won, but at the same time I wasn't, because, it looks like they're going to be moving forward with having him do his thing for longer. Possibly even all the way to SummerSlam is what I'm seeing. So, I mean, he'll be the part-time champion, I guess, now. So, Logan Paul all the way to SummerSlam, maybe then against Cena, I guess. but I'd rather it be LA Knight myself, but we shall see. All right, so Logan Paul won the match. Not the result I wanted, but it was a good match. Good stuff. All right, what else? I already said LA Knight beat AJ Styles. And yeah, so that just leaves us with the main event, right? I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Main event, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns in the main event. All right, so let's break this down. One of the other questions that it asked us that would have been a tiebreaker if anybody needed, and I think actually the third place was decided by the tiebreaker in the league, so cool. But the tiebreaker was, how long will the main event be? The main event ended up being 33 minutes and 25 seconds. I guess 35 minutes and 15 seconds, so not super far off. I did pretty good. Pretty good. But the guy who needed it for the tiebreaker was actually a little closer. I think he was 33 minutes and something seconds, or maybe 34 minutes, one of the two. Maybe 32. He was within like a minute, I think. So even better. Good stuff, guy. But yeah, so 35 minutes, 15 seconds was my guess. 33 minutes, 25 seconds was the match. Cool. Good stuff. All right. So, what? All right. The entrances were pretty cool. I will give them that. Cody Rhodes had this weird helmet thing on, which was okay. They had a fun little extra intro before his song came on. I enjoyed that. Brandy Rhodes came out with him. I enjoyed that. Overall, cool stuff. The helmet looked a little weird, a little wonky, a little fake, a little plasticky, but it was pretty cool. It was all right. Roman Reigns had his normal super long entrance that was pretty good. The announcements were super long, but then we get into this match. But just to throw it out there, no one comes down with Roman Reigns. Okay, all right, let's see how this goes. The match goes, they're having a great match, your typical what you'd expect. Cody Rhodes getting some good spots in there, but Roman Reigns doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But Cody Rhodes is definitely holding his own, all the way up until the point where it looks like maybe Cody Rhodes is gonna take it, and then Jimmy Uso super kicks him. So shows up out of nowhere, super kicks him, causes him to not be able to do a crossroads and win the match. If he would have won off that crossroads, you know how finishers are these days. But yeah, so Jimmy does that, and then immediately Jay comes running out, takes Jimmy up the ramp, and then they end up hurling themselves off the ramp onto, a little gimmick, right? Little table thing. So they're out of the match for the rest of the match. And then we'll come back to Jay in a little bit, because there's something they probably could have done a little better here. But anyways, so they're out of the match. That's cool, right? All right. So one person coming in to interfere, take him out of the match. Good stuff so far. A little bit later, the match goes on. A little bit later, Solo comes out. Thumbs him to the neck. You think it's over. Cody kicks out. Holy crap. All right. They're really kind of doing Solo dirty since his win over John Cena. It was at Saudi Arabia. Solo hasn't won too many matches, hasn't been as effective, which is disappointing because I really do like Solo, and I would like him to move on in like a solo setting to have a singles run, or tag with his brother, one of the two. I don't know, but he hasn't looked strong since the win over John Cena. Anyways, Cody Rhodes kicks out. Then we have Solo set him up, gets Roman Reigns up. They start yelling at each other a little bit, so dissenting, some things coming down the line for sure. But they do a combo of Roman Reigns spearing and him doing the thumb to the throat thing. For sure, it's over. It's over. Nope, Cody Rhodes kicks out. Honestly, I thought Cody Rhodes was going to kick out, but it's like this double deadly finisher move, you know. So that's what they were going for. Oh, this is definitely it. But no, Cody Rhodes is going to kick out of it. He's not going down that easy. There's far too many people that still need to make cameos anyways. All right. So Solo is about ready to start helping Roman Reigns beat him up some more so they can finish it. And what do you know? I mean, I kind of thought this was going to happen, so I feel good about that. John Cena. Of course it's John Cena. One, he needs a little bit of vengeance on Solo Sikoa, so that's cool. And I love that they, you know, tied that back together. Also, John Cena and Roman Reigns definitely have their own history. And John Cena and Cody Rhodes, that's pretty cool. So John Cena comes out, takes out Solo Sikoa, actually does an AA on Roman Reigns, and an AA on Solo, and an AA on Solo through the table. Solo's out of the match. So that's pretty cool. And you knew it was about to happen, right? John Cena's standing tall, and The Rock's music hits. Of course it does. That's beautiful. That is so good. And of course, you know, we have to have a standoff and a face-off between The Rock and John Cena. Looks almost like they wanted it to be like Hogan Rock from, you know, a decade ago. It didn't get there. The crowd was not as into it as they were Hogan and Rock. I'm just going to say. But, you know, it was an outdoor crowd, and they were probably a little cold again. The first night they were hecka cold. Second night they were less cold, but it just wasn't, it wasn't as loud as you would expect. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had a great time enjoying it, watching it. The Rock just beats up John Cena. Like, John Cena doesn't even hold his own against him. Pretty interesting choice there. He doesn't even put up a fight. He's done. John Cena's out. So The Rock is looking like he's about ready to get involved in the match. And then, of all things, it starts getting a little weird here. Of all things, the Shield's music hits, right? The Shield, I'm like, no, not the Shield. Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley is not coming back to the WWE. Some people probably thought maybe he would. You know, and then is this like the music that they're doing to have MJF come out? No, neither one of those guys are coming to WWE. They're staying in AEW. But it's like, okay, but really, who's coming out to the Shield music? Seth Rollins. Okay, Seth Rollins coming out to the Shield music of all things. Kind of interesting choice. He came out dressed in the Shield outfit. He had a match earlier in the night where he got beat up. So that's kind of like, all right. I guess you're fine. You're good. You had your match. You took a shower. You got changed. You got ready to come out for the final match. I don't know. That's a little wonky to me, but it's fine. What was not fine? Why they got to do him like this? At least they didn't have him take the pin the first night, right? But why they got to do him like this? He runs into the ring and like just Rock or Roman, it was Rock, just lays him out with a chair like immediately and he's done. Seth Rollins is gone. Why? Why'd they got to do him like that? But yeah, so Seth Rollins was done. He didn't have any impact on that match whatsoever. They played the Shield's music. He comes running into the ring. And he got knocked out. Weird. All right. Anyways, okay. So again, The Rock's all right. Rock's going to take out Cody Rhodes. Of all the things, I would have said Stone Cold makes sense right here. I would have said that. I would have been like, okay, we haven't seen him since his match against Kevin Owens, but the history between Stone Cold and The Rock, I could kind of see this. Even though he has nothing really to do with Roman Reigns. He hasn't been even like hinted at on TV recently. But I could have understood. The Rock versus Stone Cold, classic rivalry. No, what did we get? The Undertaker? Sure. I mean, it's awesome. It's the Undertaker. They get the gong, they get the lights out. Rock's like, what the hell? Has the same look on his face I do. Like, what? Like, why is it the Undertaker? Undertaker pops up behind the Rock, takes him out. Lights go out. They're both gone. Rock's out of the match. Didn't get a chance to hit Cody Rhodes or kind of do anything really in the match. Rock's out of the match. Undertaker's out of the match. Obviously, he's gone too. So we have Roman Reigns and we have Cody Rhodes left. Nope, Seth Rollins. Why? But okay, so Seth Rollins is finally climbing back up, right? He's getting up. Roman Reigns is there. He's got a chair. Cody Rhodes is getting up. He's crawling back up on the rope. Finally, after all that, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are crawling their way back up, and Roman Reigns is up. And Roman Reigns is like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna win this match." But there's a Seth Rollins right there. I gotta hit Seth Rollins in the back. That's kind of like that's. I mean, he deserves it. He did it to me, and I mean, we got to bury him a little bit more. I mean, he's already been just buried all day. Might as well. Click. Hits Seth Rollins. He goes down again. He doesn't do anything. Seriously, didn't do anything. He just got beat up. He goes down, and then Cody Rhodes comes in, attacks Roman Reigns, and gets 3 crossroads off, wins the match, just like that. A little iffy on that, but 3 crossroads, 3 finishers. Okay, makes sense. That whole thing just was kind of weird. But I enjoyed it. It was some fun payoffs, some fun moments. But the best moment, Cody Rhodes is the new champion. Roman Reigns is done. I mean, he'll be back, but maybe he'll take some time off. That's my hope. Take some time off. Heal if you're, suffering any injuries, although he doesn't wrestle that often, so he's probably not suffering any injuries. There's a slight possibility, I'm hearing possibly he's not in remission again for his cancer. I hope that's not true. My take on it was he was saying that it's always going to be a thing that he has to maybe contend with because it could always come back. But that, he wasn't saying it had come back. So I'm hoping, praying for you, Roman, that's not, what you're dealing with right now. And that they said it was the right time for Cody Rhodes and they weren't going to have you defending the belt a couple more times just so you can break Hulk Hogan's record at SummerSlam or whenever it would have been. I'm glad that they did that you lost at the right time. Cody Rhodes was the right person to win and everything worked beautifully. Much respect to Roman Reigns. You had a great run with the title. I know a lot of people were getting kind of bored of it. It was really long, and it was pretty much every match was the same thing of the Judgment, or not Judgment Day, the Bloodline interfering, and you getting the win because the Bloodline interfered. It was getting a little boring. So I'm glad it's done. I'm glad everybody's going to be able to move on from this, hopefully. That's my hope. And then the climactic celebration at the end was so good. They had, a lot of the people come to the ring that had dealt with, had helped Cody or had dealt with Roman Reigns over the last couple of years. LA Knight was a little weird having him out there, but, obviously he lost against Roman Reigns too. And anybody who had been who has switched over to being a bad guy since their loss to Roman Reigns didn't come out, but it was Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out. I think he should have sold more what happened earlier. That's my only pick at that. But it was cool to see him out there supporting Cody Rhodes. They're friends now. That makes sense. He lost to Roman Reigns. It makes sense. But yeah, with what he did earlier in the match, and you can even see how they did it because Seth Rollins was selling his injuries almost the whole celebration till the very end, which was really cool. He was walking out. Kevin Owens was helping him walk out, and which also was nice payoff for some things. Those guys. And they had a nice interaction between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins as he's walking out. Good stuff. Seth Rollins needs to take a break. It seems like he will. He needs to heal up a lot and just take some time off. So that's good. Sami Zayn was one of the people who came out. There was a hilarious moment where Cody Rhodes' mom finally made it into the ring, and Sami Zayn like embraces Cody Rhodes and then like turns him around to like face his mom, and he's like, "Oh, my mom's here." That was cute. Sami Zayn's awesome. That moment was good. Who else was in the ring? Did anybody else make it? Not wrestlers, but you know, some of Cody Rhodes' family, like his mom. I think it was his sister. There's some kids in the ring too. I don't think they were. I don't think they were Cody's kids because I think Cody's kids are all younger. I think one of them might have been Luke Harper's son, also known as. Oh, why am I going to forget his name now? His other wrestling name. Anyways, he was the other guy from the Wyatt family. He went to AEW under his other gimmick name. I can't remember what it is. Anyways, his real name's John Huber. He passed away due to heart issues when he was in AEW, not in the ring or something like that, but yeah, he had some heart issues and he passed away. And Cody Rhodes has kind of taken his son under his wing. So I think one of the boys was his son. I don't know who the other one was. Not 100% sure about that. Maybe one of Dustin's sons. I'm not sure about that, though. I should look into it. Anyways, and then Cody Rhodes calls down... he calls down... why am I forgetting his name? Well, he calls down Triple H, Paul Levesque. That makes sense. The other guy he called down was Brother Love. Why am I forgetting his real name? Anyways, called down him. They had to kickstart Cody Rhodes' music back up because the crowd started booing him because he's closely associated with Vince McMahon, so that's probably why. But yeah, Bruce Pritchard. There we go, Bruce Pritchard. And yeah, so they had to kick back Cody Rhodes' music back on because the crowd was booing him. But it was good times. They came into the ring. Triple H, I guess, apparently didn't really want to do that, but Cody Rhodes called him out, so he did. So he came to the ring. They celebrated together. They had a great time. It was a great celebration overall. And yeah, Cody Rhodes is your new champion. I think he'll be champion for a while, and there's going to be some great challengers. It'll be great. So right now, our new champions are Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest are the two heavyweight champions. Our Intercontinental Champion is Sami Zayn. He's the new Intercontinental Champion. New tag team champions are R-Truth and The Miz, and then Grayson Waller and A-Town Down, whatever his name is. Anyways, then we have Rhea Ripley retained, Logan Paul retained, Bayley is the new women's champion on SmackDown. See, what else? They're women's tag team champions. I'm not remembering who they are, but they weren't. Oh yeah, the other members of Damage Control. They're still the women's tag team champions because they didn't defend the titles. Anybody else that I'm thinking of? But that's our future moving forward, guys. I think it's going to be good. I think Triple H is really running things well. I enjoy the most directions that we're going in. So I look forward to seeing what they do. So far of what I've seen on Monday Night Raw, it's been good. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for WWE moving forward. Let me know what you guys think. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good day.